Hi, I'm Bybreen and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my textured take on the world of astrology, and this time it will be about the generic themes for 2017. So firstly, I've really missed you guys. Life knocked on my door and I had to take care of some business, so I've been away for a few weeks, but I'm back in town to share this episode with you. But before I do that, I want to address the competition that I set in the last episode, and it was about guessing correctly my rising sign and my sun sign, and I can't believe no one guessed them. No one, not one of you guessed right. So unfortunately on this occasion I won't be offering a free reading to anyone because nobody guessed it, which I'm really surprised about. But I may run it again next year. I'm not going to share what they are. Maybe if you start watching some more of my episodes, it might then become more apparent. But anyway, on this occasion, nobody actually won the prize, but look forward to sharing something with you next year so that I can be connecting with you more in so many different ways. So here we are at the end of the year. I love this time of the year. In a few days' time, there is a new moon that takes place in Capricorn. And alongside this new moon, it's actually conjuncting Mercury, and then it's sextiling Mars, and Mars will be entering Pisces. So we've got this new moon in Capricorn, and which is ruled by Saturn. And with this new moon and with Mercury, which is retrograding up until about the 8th of January. So it's a time of introspection. And so with the new moon, the sun, as well as Mercury, it's a time for you to be reflecting on the fundamental structures of your life, but around your identity, around the position you take up in life, in terms of how you perceive yourself and understand yourself as an authority figure in your world. And so with this Mercury retrograde, it's about rethinking the foundations, the structure of your life. How do you want to be perceived in the world? And this is a great entrance in terms of 2017, because there are 2 or 3 phrases that I think are really, I would associate with 2017. And the core one is I am. Those 2 words are so powerful. I am, and then fill in the blank. And the reason why I am, or fill in the blank, is going to apply to all of us in 2017 in a few days' time, is because we've got this powerful alignment. It's a trine that takes place between Saturn as well as Uranus. They're both in fire signs, and also with this new moon and Mercury and Mars that's lining up with this new moon configuration, they all sort of knit and tie together. So we're looking at your personal authority, your charisma, your persona. Who are you? And because the Saturn is linked to Uranus, Uranus rules Aquarius. And this is significant because we have the North Node, which moves into Leo from May 2017 through to about November 2018. And with the North Node in Leo, the focus is on you, hence why I said it's the year of I am. It's about defining who you are, and if the North Node is in Leo, which means that the South Node is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So there's this really potent signature that's been reflected a couple of times with the Saturn and Uranus, and then we've got the nodes which are positioning themselves. And so it's very much calling on how can you become an inventor in your world so that you're sharing it with your circle of influence. You know, every single one of us, and it doesn't matter if it's a circle of 3, if it's your family, if the fact that you're a school teacher and you're shaping the minds of our future leaders. You could be a dinner lady, you could be somebody who works in the health industry, you could be an engineer, you could be a mum, you could be part of a playgroup. It really doesn't matter. Every single one of us has a sphere of influence. And 2017 is beckoning you so strongly, and it's going to start pounding on your door because you've got Uranus, and Uranus is in Aries, and so Aries is about cardinality, it's about showing up first, it's about being very definitive about who you are. And so You can't now pretend you haven't heard the call. If you've been paying attention to your life, listening, watching the rhythm of your life, paying attention in terms of nature, where are you fitting in with the cycles of nature and the cycles of your life? 2017, as I mentioned in the last episode, is the year you wave goodbye to coulda, woulda, shoulda, gonna. You know, I could have done it, I would have done it, I should have done it, I was gonna do it. 2017 hasn't got any time for that, and it hasn't got any time for you to be hanging back, shrinking, getting there one day. There is no one day, the day is today, as it will be tomorrow when it arrives. Today is the day that you own and you claim who you are. So with this North Node in Leo, what it's calling for, you might find it's quite a lonely period, which is a positive thing for you, because I think too often in life what can happen is that you're waiting for somebody else's approval, you know, and underlying all of that is, will they still love you? You know, if it's a question that goes on in your mind, you know, will they still love me if I make my own decisions? Will they still love me if I disappoint X, Y, or Z? With the North Node, which is about your future direction, it's about walking. There are certain journeys in life, I fundamentally believe, that you have to walk alone. And the reason why I say that, I mean, I've done it on you know, throughout many periods of my life, but it's about how you are able to chisel your character. Personality is great. You know, that's a funny man and he's really witty. That's personality. Character is, what are you like? Who do you become when your back is against the wall? And given that we've got the North Node in Leo, so the spotlight is on you, hence why I said I am. So it's not about you being selfish and just cultivating a world for yourself. No, the remnants of the South Node, which are in Aquarius, are giving you an indication that whatever it is that you create, it's going to benefit the masses. And because we've got Aquarius, which deals with the collective, and here it's about tapping into your higher mind and being inventive. Alongside these configurations, we also have Jupiter, and Jupiter continues in Libra until October 2017. And so here we have this collective theme. It's about, you know, the social world, having a great horizon, a big vision, a big dream. How are you able to fulfill that dream? What tools do you need in order to start manifesting that dream? And with the North Node in Leo, the question here is, who do you need to become in order to manifest your dreams? And so if I think about my own background, one of the transformative things that I've done in 2016, or it's culminated in 2016, is that I've been working on a health issue in terms of type 2 diabetes, and I'm on the cusp of reversing it. So it's a really powerful transformation that's taken place in my life. And you know, I reached highs and I reached lows, but I am just so grateful to be in a position now where I'm honouring my life in this way and bringing myself back to optimum health. So each one of us, you know, may have had challenges in our lives, and it's about how do you face them head on. And with the North Node in Leo, it's the time for you to stand centre stage in your life and to own who you are and to be present. And so therefore, that's why I say there are certain journeys you have to walk alone. And don't be fearful, because by walking these journeys, what you're being called to is to, you know, bring to the surface those latent talents, because once you cultivate those latent talents, you can then become the star, you can then become the leader that the world is waiting for. You know, every single one of us has leadership qualities, and 2017 gives you the opportunity in your own unique and distinctive way to show the world what you're really made of. Now, alongside this, from about June of 2017, we have Neptune. Neptune is currently in Pisces, and Neptune goes retrograde for 5 months between June and November. Now, Neptune is a very masculine name, but Neptune has a feminine face. And the reason I say this is because Neptune rules the oceans, it rules water, and we all came to this planet because we were birthed. So we were bathed in water, and so we know that water is purifying, it's cleansing, it's nourishing, it's nurturing, we can bathe in it. So for example, over this Christmas period, the friends I was staying with, they'd have this really lovely, deep, long bath. And it was just so nourishing and nurturing. So, you know, I went into the bath, had a glass of wine, I had a book, and I was just in there for ages. It was wonderful. But when we think of Neptune, it's about how do we give birth to our true identity. And the fact that Neptune is going retrograde, and so instead of going out into the world and being part of the collective, it's about disassociation. Now the disassociation is in this way. So imagine as if Neptune's in the 12th house. So it's the house of the hidden. But what is hidden there? What's hidden behind that door is ancestral legacy. And so with the retrograde, it's a time for you to start disassociating or pulling away from the ancestral legacy that is preventing you in some way, shape or form from showing up with your new identity. And with Neptune in Pisces going retrograde, Neptune is always associated with fighting for the underdog, and the underdog here is your soul. Your soul needs to be nourished. Your soul needs to be nurtured. You should begin paying attention to the clarion call of your soul, and 2017 is very much about this. It's great being the champion of the underdog in the external world, but if you're not paying attention, if you're not honouring the components of your soul, then you're dishonouring who you really are. So with Neptune retrograde, it's calling on you. If you've been paying attention, you've already started to hear the whispers. What is your soul calling for? And that's why with this North Node going through Leo, that's why I'm suggesting there are parts of your journey you have to walk alone. And the reason being is because you can then start distancing yourself from other people's opinions of what they think you should be doing, could be doing, they plan for you to do, living up to their unfulfilled dreams and living vicariously through you. It's unfair. It's not something I've always kind of rebutted that. I've always led quite a singular life in that way. And all I'm doing is encouraging all of you to pay attention. You know, the theme of my channel is helping you to create and live authentically and soulfully. And 2017 is a wonderful signature year that's encouraging you. You know, the energies from the planets are encouraging you. They're very, very favourable for you to dance to the rhythm of your own beat. It's juicy. Really, really juicy. So there you have it. They're the key configurations, they are the key aspects, and it's all pointing to you. You know, who are you? I am X or I am Y. And don't allow 2017 to pass you by in a way where you get to the end, because if you're paying attention to your life and if you're honouring, you know, what lies within, don't forget that in December, about this time next year, Saturn moves into its own sign of Capricorn. So it's going to be in an extremely powerful position. And Saturn is the signature, it's the emblem of your personal power. You are the mountain goat that struggled to get to the top of the mountain. All of us have in one way, shape or form. And so next year, from December 2017, you really will be able to shine as that mountain goat that has struggled to get to the top of the mountain. But because you are now at the top of the mountain, you are on solid foundations in your life. So please, 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 if there's anything I want to encourage you even more so, is listen to the rhythm of your soul. Listen to those whispers. What are they beckoning you towards? And you know what it is. You really do know what it is. Which brings me to the question of the day. It's a two-part question. And the question of the day is, who stole your holy fire and what are you going to do to reclaim it? Because when you're not listening to the rhythm of your soul, when you're not ventilating that aspect of you, somewhere in your history, somewhere in your personal narrative, someone or something has extinguished your holy fire. And for this particular part of your hero's journey, it's about how you go about reclaiming it. And when you reclaim it, you'll be able to exhale. Why? Because you're able to balance the different faces of who you are, and you'll be able to live them in a very lateral way. So that's a question of the day. And the quote of the day comes from Edward Hooper. And he says, no amount of skillful invention will actually replace the essence of your imagination. So I started with I am. I've highlighted to you the importance of Uranus and its trine to Saturn, as well as you've got the nodes moving into Leo, the North Node, Aquarius, the South Node. Becoming who you are, becoming that personal authority, but whatever you create, you know, your creation could be anything. So on Christmas Day, for example, the film Hidden Figures has just been released, and it's the story of Katherine Johnson. And she's an African-American woman who's still alive. She was a maths genius who actually calculated the elliptical equation that allowed John Glenn to orbit the Earth. Now, whatever you invent doesn't have to be as spectacular as what Katherine Johnson did, or what Sir Tim Berners did, where he revolutionised our communication and made us a borderless world through the internet. You've got your tiny version of that, or it could be a huge version of what Katherine and Tim have done, but you've got your version of it, and 2017 is knocking so loud. As I said, it's a clarion call, and it's time for you to answer it. So don't leave 2017 without actually answering the call. And lastly, how could I forget, there are the eclipses that take place in February and August. So that's the solar eclipse as well as the lunar eclipse. So we've got Leo, Aquarius and Pisces. So the eclipses are also about change and revolutionary changes that can be made in your world. And so there's no time for shrinking. The spotlight is on you, and I want you to live as authentically and soulfully in your life every single day, bit by bit, footstep by footstep. So as always, I love connecting with you all. As I said, unfortunately, no one won in terms of guessing my rising and my sun sign, so there's no gift on this occasion. There could be something else coming up soon, but you'll have to wait and see. And I really want to thank you, everyone who watches my channel, who supports me, who writes comments, who shares my episodes, who shares the information that I love sharing with you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your attention, because as I say, there are, you know, hundreds of thousands of channels on YouTube, and you actually give me your attention. So thank you so much. Look forward to connecting deeper with you next year, bringing you more goodies, and feel free to share this episode with anyone in your network. You can like and share and subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful, happy new year, and 2017, let's all rock together. So yeah, until then, bye bye.